I believe everyone should try crack before they die. But like, in a perfect world, you would know right before you die. I would do it in hospice. Guys, if you're going out, go out with a bang.
But
With a
I don't
snap,
know
crackle, pop, bang.
No,
Come
I don't
on.
think crack is the best hospice drug.
What would you choose? Heroin?
Yeah.
I'm
But
with
they
you.
give you that anyway.
Yeah, they give
That's
you.
what I'm saying,
No, but they give
though,
you.
'cause
but I'm
they
saying
already
try
figured
something
it
else.
out.
Yo, let me ask you something.
I'd want to do.
Have you seen somebody do crack and then like not be like more mobile than they were?
Crackheads keep jobs.
That's what I'm saying.
Fentanyl kills.
So
You
I'm
know
saying
what I mean?
hospice should have crack.
But these people aren't going to be working.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Hospice will just
They're
have like a different
dying.
swag to it.
Yeah.
This one is like an end stage thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
saying crack for the people.
Got you.
I'm saying
I thought
crack.
you were saying crack for the people.
No, I'm saying crack when
he
it's
said
done.
When you're
Okay.
old and dying.
When crack when it's
he wants to
done.
do crack.
Like, you know when an
Okay,
airplane is
Reagan.
going down and the masks come from the ceiling? It should be a little crack as well. That's what should be in the mask.
Crack pipe.
Yeah, that's what should be in the mask. Plane's going down, crack pipe comes down from the top, and then it's like, and then you're like, man, this is not so bad. This is not so, They'll hold the plane up themselves. Every passenger. This is What Now with Trevor Noah. So, welcome to it. It's an episode of If I Ruled the World, where myself, Josh, and Christiana think about ways that we would change the world if we had all the power. As is usual, each of us suggests our idea. Everyone votes on it. We'll hear the other two votes on it. And if you get a majority, or if you get two people, then your vote is passed. So, Josh, Christiana, do you want to start?
After you, Josh.
Christiana, you're the only person I think who's had one passed.
I
by
know,
the way.
and I want to be the one
Yeah.
that has it again. Now
Yeah.
I'm my competitive.
Yeah,
I
now
feel
you,
like-
have,
yeah.
you have stakes.
I feel like that's why she offered for me to go first, because it's like she knows mine'll be bad.
Okay, Josh, you go first.
I think that if I ruled the world,
Mhm.
everyone, every citizen of the world, after the age of about 22, potentially 25,
Yeah.
would have to, at some point in the rest of their life, have at least one psychedelic experience.
Wow, have to.
You have to. And you don't have to do it at 22. I say 22 because between 22 and 25 are the years where the brain of a human
right.
really you're
so
like,
you're waiting for the brain to settle.
The frontal
I'm
lobe
not
has to be in.
yeah, because
Okay.
I'm not trying to offset where anyone was gonna go without this.
Okay.
And I want everybody to be able to be themselves. But then I think that afterwards it's probably one of the things you can even save it until you're old. And if you
Wait,
die,
Yeah, but that's what I was going to ask. What if people die before?
I mean, they could die before they're 22. So
No, but what I'm saying is, so this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You've implemented a system because everyone has to,
yeah.
but there's no time limit on it.
I would say the time limit on it is like probably 55.
55. So
Yeah.
before 55, you have to have a psychedelic experience.
Yes, because I think that if it has a life-altering effect on you at 55, there's still time to change your life around. And if you do it too late, I think it just reshapes how you feel about life you've already lived.
Huh. Okay. I'm a little torn on this one. I think psychedelics can change the world in a positive way. I also do think not everyone should have to take them, and I think some people might take them and have like a really bad trip. And like, I don't know if you've read these people's posts on like ayahuasca, which I know is not exactly the same thing. You know, when people go and do like ayahuasca at one of these gimmicky retreats somewhere in the world, and then they come back and they leave their family and they like quit everything, and then they go off. I don't know if everyone, would you give people psych evaluations beforehand?
Would there be a guide?
Would there be a guide?
A perfect example, right?
Okay, go.
Is that apparently we have a misunderstanding personally, and we've made a tourism out of ayahuasca.
Yes, we have.
The tradition of ayahuasca was that the actual doctor, like the elder, would take the ayahuasca and converse with you and talk with you. We've made it so that we want to take the ayahuasca.
Yeah.
So I would say that there would definitely be like a sort of psych eval to make sure a person could handle it and everything.
Okay. Then I'm with you a little bit more.
But I do think that between the years of like 22 and 55 are where you are at your most potential for being like stuck. I don't want to disparage people's choices, but I think that some people who do fall off the grid after a psychedelic experience maybe really are like loosening themselves. Maybe that's not the crazy that we think it is.
Okay, I'm willing to accept that.
You know what I mean?
Because we don't know who their families are.
We don't know who their families are, and we even
don't
have
know what their
we have
job was like.
What you would even call traditions of like you look at the Buddha, and the Buddha left everything to go find enlightenment. But he had responsibilities. He had a wife and he had children and everything.
Oh,
and
so he was. I didn't know he was a deadbeat.
a little bit.
Wow,
Yeah,
didn't know that about him.
pretty sure he came back, but didn't come back to raise them.
He just came back to tell them that, like,
Oh, that's a bad person.
the idea of him leaving isn't a real. He was like, "Why are you crying? I was never here."
So he made someone a single mom.
Yeah, but he was like, "You were always single.
And
You came into
people
this
have made
world."
him a god.
He's like, "You came into this world." He's not a god. He's like, it's an idea.
He's like a prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just like, yeah, man. He's
At
just
least Jesus didn't have any kids. I'm not like saying you should be a Christian, but he had no kids.
he was going to, but then Pontius Pilate happened, and yeah, the rest is history. So wait, Josh, you're saying this? Are you saying this firsthand, or are you saying this as like just an idea?
No, as an idea.
So you've never done psychedelics?
No, I haven't done
Wait.
psychedelics.
So you don't know what could happen to you?
Wait, no, okay, it's
I would
different.
love to. I would
he
love
put
to do
you
it
on
with
shrooms.
you.
No,
I don't put anybody on shrooms. Why would you say this about me?
You're like the shroom pusher.
No, I'm not.
You're like
no. I'm the open mind
You're
encourager.
a highbrow drug dealer.
I'm an open mind encourager. I think everyone should be open to like electric cars. I was one of the first ones saying to people, "Yo, guys, let's do electric car." And then
Yeah.
if people don't want it, I was like, "I don't mind you not doing it, but let's be open to the idea of it. We should all be open to more ideas that make the world a better place."
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would never push
Josh,
anything on
you've-
Josh.
You've never done it, but you want everyone, including yourself, to do it.
Yeah, it'll be easier for me to do it.
Oh wow.
But also, I will say this: I don't do it now under the current system that we live in. I can't just be a black man out in the streets on psychedelics for the first time. I don't know. I might take my
Josh,
shirt off.
we
Might start running.
No, we go to Oregon. We find like an open field, and then we just get in touch with ourselves.
I guess so.
Wait, Josh, do you even drink?
No, I don't drink. I've never done anything. This is just
Have you smoked weed?
no. This is me raw.
Wow.
This is just what
This
I'm
is
like.
you.
Wow, I think, yeah.
You've done nothing in life.
Nah.
You know what we should do? Well, you just made it seem like he's done nothing in life. That's extreme.
No, but I
you just
mean,
made it like you were like, have you lived?
I know what she
You
meant.
don't take antidepressants. You're just raw dogging the world. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is...
Josh,
so then
this
what,
is deep.
what we should
I'm
do then,
impressed.
Josh, why don't we start with a cigarette? You might discover
Have you ever
yourself.
smoked a cigarette?
No.
You might like...
Oh,
No, you
what?
never know. Josh, you're
cigarette?
so pure that you might smoke a cigarette and have like an ayahuasca experience.
I might smoke a cigarette and die.
That's right. I'm saying you might smoke one cigarette and be like, I see my ancestors. We give you like one like Marlboro, like an old
That's
school.
insane.
Yeah.
Just
All the
like
nicotine.
one.
I think nicotine would be enough for him.
Man, let's go. Josh, can I tell you what we should do? We should do podcast episodes, and on each one we give you one substance. You try it, and then we discuss it with you to see how you feel.
I feel like in this scenario, you accidentally make crack the first episode. If we don't do
but
any
Trevor-
other episode, we're like, we can't find them.
No. For Trevor, crack is the end game.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So it'd be like season 40.
Yes, it would
Would
be.
Gotcha,
definitely be
gotcha.
crack.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think, Josh, with your psychedelics thing,
Mm-hmm.
since you like don't drink, you don't smoke weed, I don't know if you're the best authority on people trying, the whole population trying other
Josh,
substances.
I think it's a fantastic idea, but carry on.
No, but like it doesn't come from experience.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It comes from just a lot of reading.
I thought
Guys,
you were,
the
I
first-
thought you were on the same journey this guy is on.
No,
than, like,
guys,
a
guys.
shroom expert.
No,
But now to
no.
find out that you actually
Guys,
seem crazier now that
people-
you haven't done it.
The first helicopter was not invented by someone who flew in a helicopter. Let the man be.
What does that even mean?
You don't have to do the thing to have the idea for the thing. That's what I'm saying. Josh is clearly an enlightened
No, but
gentleman.
you could take him to Oregon and you do the thing and he comes back and he's like, absolutely not. So I want...
We doing that, Josh?
I think Josh should do it. Because Josh doesn't do anything.
Do it.
So I hear what you're saying, Christiana. I do get it. But I'm just saying off of both the things that I've seen from people, like from not my firsthand experience, but from the knowledge of
Yes.
other people trying things and everything. I just, in the same way that I have not seen anyone be better for being drunk, I have not seen people whole lots of worse off for having a psychedelic experience,
I agree with that.
especially ones that they are even intended to be a little bit life altering or mind opening and are not habitual.
Mhm.
I've just not seen any negative repercussions in like a major way. Maybe they had a bad trip, but I think that bad trip also made them think about why it was a bad trip and expose.
No, I think you're coming from it from a very considered perspective. I respect it, but I still think you should do it because I'm not going to do it. So you do it.
Can I tell you what's funny about Christiana is this? You are going to be scammed. I'm letting you know you're going to get scammed by, because remember this moment and bookmark this episode. The pharmaceutical industry is working on synthesizing psychedelics that grow from our own Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They're finding a way to synthesize it. And once they've figured it out, they're going to get it passed by the governments. And then they're going to make it illegal to have the stuff that everyone can grow for themselves and not lose all their money on. And then they're going to sell the thing that was natural to the people. And it's not going to have the full effects because they still want it to make you latch onto capitalism. So they're going to find a way to it'll make you feel good for a few moments and then it'll go away. But it won't have the real life-changing possibilities that real psychedelics can have. And then when that comes out, it'll be in a pill form. It'll be widely accepted by society, like most drugs are, that have the worst side effects and that get people, opioid addictions and you name it. And then you see, Josh, Christiana will take that bottle and she'll tell us that she's on it. And we'll be like, why didn't you take the mushrooms? And she'll be like, because my doctor prescribed this one.
I'm going to say after we spoke to Michael Pollan, right, Josh? After that, I'm in my politics group chat that you guys, my nerdy mum group chat.
Yes.
We had a thing and we were like, okay, we're going to do a trip and we want to get a guide and do shrooms.
Oh,
we want to get your person.
Look at this.
We want to get your person.
This is amazing.
Wow.
But we kept being mothers. There's so many caveats already. It's just
I'm with you.
Should this person, maybe this person sits out and make sure our phones are there. So we are considering it. I think we're all chicken to ever do it.
Okay.
And we're tired, exhausted
one
mothers.
step in
So
the right
probably, we'll
direction.
probably just sleep most of the trip.
Yeah.
But I'm becoming more open to it. But I think you should do it before you propose a law about it. It's only fair.
Yeah,
Unless it's political hypocrisy.
You know what, Josh? I see what she says. She thinks you're chicken. You're not chicken.
No.
After this episode, me and you, we go and we're going to make it happen. Any questions from you, Christiana? I'm ready to vote on this.
Yeah, I'm ready to vote on it. I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're voting?
I'm going to vote no.
Damn.
But I think that the spirit behind it is a really beautiful thing because you're saying everyone should get the chance to be free.
Yeah.
Which is what psychedelics can possibly do.
But you're voting no.
Yeah, because I don't think we should compel anyone to do things with their bodies. I'm truly pro-choice.
Damn, Josh, you are not pro-choice.
Well, we compel people all the time.
You
to do
are
different
on the
stuff.
record as not being
No, but I wouldn't even
pro-choice.
force people to take vaccines. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
I'm
No, Josh
I'm
is
libertarian when it
like,
comes to bodies.
No,
We recorded Josh.
Let her hang with me. She said no vaccines. No.
No, I do vaccines. I want my kids to be around people who have vaccines. But I would never say, if I was running a government, I'd be like...
So your body, don't come near it, don't touch it, don't do anything.
Autonomy, radical consent. I'd be
Okay.
one of... If I was Gen Z, I'd be like one of people, can I kiss you? Okay, now I'm going to take off your top. I'd be like that
my
type of person.
goodness.
But I'm not, I'm like a millennial.
Oh,
so
wow.
no. But
Okay.
yeah, I feel we can't... I don't want to compel anyone to do something with their body, especially that affects their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, so no, Josh.
Well, I still vote yes, because I think it's a wonderful idea that could set many people free. And I think we've lost many of the traditions that have helped people do that. But Christiana wants us to be stuck sipping on the juice that capitalism gives us only.
It does sound
She
a
wants
little
us,
like that.
Yeah, she wants us to be stuck in our little cubicles and doesn't want us to be free.
Because you know what affects the mind? You know what affects the body? The phone. We all have one of those. We
Yep.
need them to survive. We never let them go. Maybe I
Well.
should have tricked everyone. I blasted everybody.
Josh got a no. We'll see what Christiana's suggestion is. We're going to continue this conversation right after this short break. All right, Christiana, it's your turn. If you
Okay.
rule the world.
If I ruled the world, everyone would get an assigned partner. And whatever you'd want that partner to be. So if you're a gay man and you really want a husband, we'd make sure you get a husband. If you're lesbian, you want a wife, I'd make sure you get a wife. Straight, da, da, da. Or if you're someone that's like, I just want platonic love, we'd get you a best friend.
Now, when you say get you, what is this? Who's the getting and
It's
how
like,
does the getting work? But I'm like, am I going to get got? Like when you say
No.
getting,
So we'd have like
someone's like, I want to have Trevor.
we'd have like social work. No. Everyone would be compelled
yes.
to have an assigned partner. You can say what that assigned partner has to be. Like, is this somebody I
But
would...
we have to have them.
Yes.
So no one's single in the world.
No one's alone in the world. So like, remember,
But no one's single as well.
Well, you can have an assigned partner and not be romantically involved with them.
So you can just make your assigned partner a friend?
Some of them would be a friend.
Oh, okay.
Because some people
Gotcha.
struggle to make friends.
Wait. Okay, wait.
So imagine you're like, everyone has to have an assigned partner, and as long as you're both alive, you are contractually obliged to each other in some way.
Okay, but what does that mean?
It could be, some people would be like, I want a husband.
Okay.
So I would make sure that person got a husband or a wife.
And so they would be matched up with somebody who wanted the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some people would be like, I don't want a husband. I don't want someone in my house, but I want to know, but when I grow old, I'll have a companion. But I would prefer that person to be a woman.
Okay.
I don't want to,
All right.
And then we'll be like, okay, we're going to find you a best friend.
Uh-huh.
And you would arrange it and you'd have to be together. And this is what I think it does. It solves our loneliness problem. Because there's so many people that like die alone and live alone. But if you have an assigned partner, that side of your life is taken care of.
I'm not mad at this idea. The only problem is I've read multiple studies that have said some of the loneliest people are those in a marriage.
No, but it doesn't have to be a marriage if
Yeah,
you
but
don't want to marry.
but what I'm saying is like, imagine having an assigned person who doesn't like you.
No, but we would do our best to ensure it's like a
How
good
do
match.
okay, so you're like using like algorithms and stuff and you're trying to like...
Algorithms, human wisdom,
Uh-huh.
prayer, maybe. I'm just saying, it's just like, let's be clear. People make really bad choices picking their own
This is
assigned
true.
partner.
This is completely
So it's not
true.
like you can do it any better,
This is true.
right? And I'm like, let's outsource that to some sort of government body. And mind you, in the government, it's in their interest for you to be happy because happier people are more productive citizens and there's less crime, there's less violence, etc., etc. No, you guys are not sold. I'm not looking at your faces.
Well, I mean, my face is giving me away.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing to your point is I have to look it up, but it was like they did this is a survey, but basically they found that the divorce rate in arranged marriages when divorce was allowed and the divorce rate of love marriages was like pretty close.
Oh, interesting.
It was like not exactly the same,
Yeah.
but it was like very close. So I do agree with your thing of like you are just as well off based off of your general personality and disposition of picking yourself as having someone pick for you because happy people make happy couples.
Yes, okay.
My worry is that some people are like such proper like cat people that they're like, guys, I don't want a person. You don't understand. I only like alligators.
But that person definitely needs a person. As somebody who's had like family members who just like isolate themselves from like the family for whatever reasons, and you don't know where they are, you don't know what they're doing. It's a big worry.
So in your system, you'd like pair them up with somebody who likes to dress up as an alligator.
Sure, if that's your thing. I don't kink shame, you see.
No,
So-
I'm just saying because we're trying to solve problems here.
So I think in your scenario, you would have to align them with someone who was like so passionate about outreach and social work that they didn't mind just being a pen pal for maybe years until this person wanted to talk.
Well, there are people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I think it wouldn't be like an opposites attract thing because I think fundamentally they'd have to be assigned someone that has the same value system as them,
Okay, got
right?
it.
Even though if they have a different personality. But it would just mean that you would always have a person.
What if I kill my person?
Okay,
Do you give me another one?
Well, the thing is, if you go to prison, you're going to have lots of assigned people
Wow.
in
Okay.
other cells.
So my assignments
not
follow
gonna-
me.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out like, okay.
No, I feel like I don't think it'll become contentious. All human relationships have stuff, but I think it would do a lot of things for loneliness because people get to a certain age and they just wake up. Maybe they get widowed, or
So
maybe they.
I hear. Look, I think the sentiment behind it, like most of our sentiments, are
Yeah.
right. I think it is a beautiful idea. The area where I think it falls short is this. I think that loneliness is always relative to what we perceive the other thing to be. Okay, so if you're on an island and there's only one other person on the island, you might find over some time you're like, this is life and this is great, and you get what I'm saying. But if you live in a world where there's like 1,000 people and then you only know like one of them, you might still be lonely because you're like, oh, I wish I had more friends. I only have one friend. So I think people would just make that the baseline. Now you'd become the loser in your basement. Oh, you probably only have an assigned friend. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, look at you. Oh, is that your wife? Is that an assigned wife? Oh. So I think you'd still have the same loneliness. And I also think like on a societal level, there's also got to be a thing that like pushes us as humans a little bit. It's like,
That's the push.
I don't think it's the push.
Okay, so there's
I don't
been
think it's
all
the
these,
push.
but every year we pick up the newspaper, we watch news,
Yeah.
and there's a story of somebody who has died in their apartment and
Yes.
has been there for years.
Yes.
And there's a smell coming from it, and
Right.
the neighbors are like, "What's that?" And then the police come, and it's a
Yes.
skeleton. There's this specific case of actually a Black British woman, and it's her skeleton
Right.
watching TV, and it's like the apartment stuck in time. Right.
Right.
And I think about that happens so much in cities.
Yes, but
all around the world.
but I'm arguing. I agree with you. We've never heard that story happen in an African village.
Yeah, but
I've
Africans-
never heard a story one
in
time.
Africa, you need to unassign people.
This is what I'm trying to say.
You need less people in your business.
No,
than
so
your
what I'm
life.
saying is, I argue the thing that you're pitching isn't the root cause of what's happening. I would argue you've ruled the world and you've thrown in like a way to like treat the symptom, but the real issue is just like us living isolated lives in our world. You know what I mean? It's like I that's why I say I love the sentiment, but I personally am going to vote no because I think you fixed it the wrong way, in my opinion, as a voter, and I think it's just going to be like it's just going to be a different way to be lonely, and then some people. There's a weird thing. I think some people might even feel more rejected when their assigned thing doesn't work out because like an algorithm said it's supposed to work out and then it didn't work out. And then, imagine how much lonelier you would be if you failed at the thing that was pre-chosen for you that was supposed to be perfect. So I'm going to vote no. I love the sentiment behind it. It's a beautiful idea, but it's a no.
Okay.
Before I vote, I have one more question and one potential suggestion. One question: would you daisy chain the people? So, like, let's say you have your person, and then you're both like 28, and then your assigned person passes. Do you get another person, or are you like alone for the rest of life now?
No, I think the assigned person is sacred.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Damn. Oh, I'm going to go back now and vote more no.
Because I feel like
Damn.
knowing how human, I have a very dismal view of human
Damn.
nature.
Yeah.
I feel like, to Trevor's point,
You just forced the soulmates on. Have you watched that Twin Flames documentary? You've just twin flamed people. Have you seen that scam? Everyone who's just listened to this, go and watch Escaping Twin Flames, and you will see what Christiana has just pitched to her. Because she just said sacred. Your partner is sacred. This is the fundamental premise of twin flame scams. I'm more voting no.
So I am voting yes, but I have a little tweak because I do think it would work better this way if you were already going to implement
I'm
it.
on board for the amendment. I just want the vote.
I think.
Wow. This is the problem with politics today.
I think that your assigned person has to be someone on a different part of the world than you, and I think that at some point you each get a trip to see each other. So you can see each other as much as you want.
So like cultural exchange.
Cultural exchange, exactly. Because I think that you having a person in a place that you would probably never go and something you know nothing about, that's actually what like brings more humanity into it.
Okay.
And
What a terrible system.
what?
You guys are like ridiculously terrible.
What?
Your assigned partner is going to be in another country.
Yeah.
Now you can't afford to go see the one person who's assigned to you.
No, but you get a trip.
Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Here's what you could have had. Here's what you could have had if you could afford flights.
No one says you have to go back.
Yeah, but what if you like this person's
think-
perfect for
I
me,
think
and
if
now you can't go? Have you heard of visas? Just this is American. This is what this is. Americans travel the world, not knowing how hard it is to travel the world. You whip out your passport. Every country lets you in. If you came from any other country, you would never make that suggestion. Imagine meeting your assigned sacred partner. You fall for them.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is the best person for me. And then the other country's like, you can't come in because you don't have a visa. And then what?
But they're
But I
assigned
think they
partner,
would-
you wouldn't need visas.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
don't need visas
This
when
is
you're
this
assigned
is her world where everyone has an assigned partner. So
you
we don't have
wouldn't
to
need a
worry
visa.
about the borders in
You
the
don't.
same
I don't know.
way
You guys
over
are adding
this.
like a bunch of if I rules into one if I rules.
No, it's just
No,
it's
she has the
amendments.
power to go ahead and
Yeah.
make you the person.
Vote. Go ahead.
You voted.
Yeah.
You voted yes?
Yeah.
Well, mine's still a no. This is the craziest, most ridiculous combination of ideas. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This situation that you got, I would make a movie about this world, and my movie would be about somebody escaping this world. And I would call the movie Unassigned. That's what it would be. I could see the trailer now. It'd be like, in a world where everyone is forced to be with someone they don't know. Michael, come meet your assigned partner. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. The government locks everybody down. They tell you who you should be with. I say hello to your little friend. One woman decides to fight back. I'm not gonna take this shit. I don't need to sign anything. It's sacred, Mary. God damn it, you're sick. One girl. Get her now. Up against the odds. Mr. President, do we have permission to take her out? She's gonna shut it all down. I hate this system. Unassigned. Coming to theaters soon. That's what I would make.
Amazing. I mean, I would watch it.
Yeah, I would escape that world.
I would watch it, but I would also wish I was in that world.
Don't go anywhere, because we got more What Now after this. Okay. If I ruled the world, I would say we have no more politicians. They're gone. No more. No more presidents. No more senators. No more congresspeople. No more, none of them. I think it is a defunct position. I think we no longer need it because the reason we needed it before was because we didn't have like telephones and internet. Mm-hmm. So villages and communities needed to get a person to go to the central body to tell the people there what they needed. And because we as the people were like working on our farms and stuff, we couldn't all leave our stuff to go and tell the people what we need. Mm-hmm. So we'd send a representative, that's where the term comes from, a representative, to go and tell the other representatives what our neck of the woods needs. Mm-hmm. We no longer need this. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, but then Trevor, this seems like a world of chaos. Who is making the rules? In my world, the rules are now made by the people, for the people. And what would happen is everybody would have a device. It is secure. Don't worry, we've done the work on this already. It's secure. And what you would do in your daily life is you would pick the things that you want to be a certain way. So you would say like, oh, I think we should spend more money on roads, and I think we should spend more money on books and education. Teachers should get more salary, and no, I don't want more war. And I think we should also do this, and we shouldn't do that. And that's all you would do.
Every day.
No. You just do it when you want to do it. You don't even have to do it like in one go. Essentially,
so elections.
But let's put it this way, all of this information will be pertinent at the time that it needs to be pertinent, but it isn't on the fixed cycle that it is the way it is now in elections, because now this is arbitrary.
So it's a referendum, which I hate because of Brexit.
Wait. It's not a referendum because it's going into law. It's not a referendum, right? So instead of voting for a person who could not do the thing you say, I must always point out, many people get voted in and then do not do the thing that they say. You would vote. And then if most people have voted for free healthcare, there would now be free healthcare.
But who would give the free healthcare?
Bureaucrats.
Oh.
So bureaucrats still run what's happening. You need, because people who push paper, this is what you need. You need actuaries and you need like accountants and you need this world, right? And they're making the thing happen. They're executing what has come from the people, but there's no longer a leader who gets to take the thing that came from the people and then like make it about themselves and then not do it.
How do you get to be a bureaucrat?
No, it's just qualifications. Because all you're doing is working things out. It's like economists, accountants, engineers, scientists. That's what they do. It's your job. You don't have power. You just have to do what the people said.
Okay, bureaucracies have a lot of power.
No, but not in this system. Because in this system, it has to be executed. It just has to be done. So let's say a community votes, they want a park and they want the park to be funded with their taxes. Then they would vote on this. Everyone has their little app and they would vote on it and it would get passed as a measure. And then the bureaucrats just have to make it happen.
So you're almost having like elections towards policies because it's...
Yeah, there's no people involved.
There's no people involved.
There is no leader.
There's no leader. It's just,
There's no debates.
do you want access to this thing? Because the reason that I worry about there not being debates is that I think there's a disconnect, and some of this is just how we live as people, but there's like a disconnect between when you get to the ballot box and how something is worded versus the points that people made before you got there.
Okay, cool.
And so there are sometimes things that are like intentionally vague, as in like there've even been courts that had to throw out certain ballots before the vote because they were like, this is worded in a way to be confusing.
It becomes backward mumble, right? Where
Yes.
it's like a riddle.
Exactly.
Almost.
So then how would you stop people who, let's say, don't want women to have like access to abortion? That's still a belief someone will hold.
Yes.
How do you stop them from using, whether it's the bureaucracy or their ballot?
The great thing in this system is, in the same way you can use your phone today to reiterate or to explain or to define, right? If you use any of like even basic level AIs now, I'm not even talking about ones connected to the internet, like a simple large language model, you can have that on device and it can just explain this to you. So it can say to you as Josh, hey Josh, this is what this measure is. So you go as Josh, I do not think, because you've said this on the podcast and I see you've brought it up again, you don't want women to have a choice over their bodies. I see you brought it up again. And so for you, Josh.
That's not.
For you, the thing would say to you as Josh, do you think that a woman should be allowed to make choices over her body medically? And then you would say yes or no based on that. But it would make the language as clear for you as possible.
So you're letting a robot do that work? Like
what do you mean?
An AI would do the
interpretation.
In the interpretation.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why.
AI is so... No.
No, wait. Let me explain why.
Okay,
Let me explain why. So the first thing we have to do is separate types of AIs, right? There's some AIs that are they're insular, and then there are other AIs that are not. So they're connected to things, and no. This is locked in. It's insular. All it's doing is explaining. Does that make sense? It's not intelligent in that way. It is just, it's able to like rephrase the thing and explain it to you in a way. It could translate it into your language. It could use, words that you understand more than others. That's essentially what it's doing.
Okay.
So you're basically pitching direct democracy. It's like what the Greeks used to do, like, but a digital version.
Yeah.
So that means everybody gets a say.
Everybody gets a say.
And it's easy to have a say.
Yes.
Okay, I don't like that. Everybody shouldn't get a say.
Everybody shouldn't get a say.
No, everybody should get a say.
Huh.
My other question is there still religious institutions?
Yeah, it's in the world we're in.
But so that means you still have leaders and politicians.
No. I get what you're saying.
Because my worry is that humans are like inherently hierarchical. And now we don't have politicians.
Okay.
They are going to find other like people to do the thinking on their behalf. So it's either going to be religious leaders.
In my world, probably be TikTokers.
Okay, it's going to be people who used to dance as a hobby, but now make bread.
Hey man,
online.
We all used to dance.
I think, okay, so two last questions on it, right? One is are you going to be voting all the way down to making distinctions about the spending when we judge the spending? Because we say we want free healthcare. Now someone has to decide out of the money that we do have, how much of the budget should leave other things to go to the free healthcare.
Yeah, right.
Is that also going to get a vote?
No, because this is where I believe somebody who's good at numbers is better than somebody who's good at talking.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the time our issues in society come from the fact that politicians get involved in that. But what do they know about it? Like, who are they to divide up a budget and be like, oh, we should send this much to defense?
But
and
aren't
we
they
should
getting advice from their bureaucrats?
No, they're not. But they're not. We know that they're not. They're getting advice from lobbyists. They're getting advice from special interest groups. They're getting advice from like someone who's scratching their back. They're getting advice from the company they're going to go to after they leave government.
Yeah.
That's where they're getting their advice.
Yeah.
So I'm not even saying my system is perfect. We will discover things we might need to tweak, but I'm saying the current system is that humans who don't know numbers are saying what the number splits should be. Have you ever seen these stories where the American military has to like spend money but like really fast, just because they have excess money.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you these stories. They're like, they told us, they said, we have to build something, and we were like, we don't need to build anything. And they said, we don't give a shit, build something. And so we built a warehouse in Afghanistan. And you're like, what is the warehouse for? They're like, we don't know, we just built it. But that's a system that's not working correctly, right? Because you had an excess. Instead of building an empty warehouse in Afghanistan, you could have built like 50 schools, maybe even more. But you just had to finish that money, because then that's how budget. You see, that's what I'm saying. I would eliminate those people are not involved in that.
The issue I'm having is people vote against their own interests all the time.
Yes.
And they vote for things that are bad for them.
Yes.
And in history, the best, not even politicians, the best leaders have gone against, like, say, a Fred Hampton, RIP, gone against the status quo.
Yes.
The people are like, no way. Do you know, like, really deeply unpopular idea. And sometimes it's like top down, this is what we're going to do. Like, to give an example, like the COVID mandate.
Yes.
Like, well, if you don't get this shot, you're not coming to work. And then people were like, some people were like, okay, I'm going to quit my job. But most people were like, all right, shoot me in the arm.
Yeah.
And then it, kind of didn't eliminate, but this life-threatening virus slowly receded from society, even though it's still there, right? So the thing that we need about politicians is that they can push through unpopular things by force that people do not want. But we can take back that power, right?
Yes. So now...
And we can get rid of them.
Yes.
However, if I'm in a society where I'm in, like, a minority that knows that this will be better for us as a group.
Yes.
Let's think about gay marriage.
Okay.
It was, like, never a popular thing.
Yes.
People were like, no. And then the Supreme Court one day was like, oh, yeah, actually, why not? You know what I mean?
But by the time that happened, the American population in general was not opposed to it.
But there were enough...
It was not contrarian when it was passed.
But there were enough people that would still vote no.
But not enough to win the vote. That's what I'm saying. On the app, they wouldn't have won the vote. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I agree with you. I actually think sometimes, I don't think people vote against their best interests just like randomly. I think a lot of people vote against their best interest because they've been sold something that is different to what it is. So if we look at Fred Hampton as a good example, the leader of the Black Panther organization, when he formed his Rainbow Coalition, what did he do there? He found a way to connect poor white people and poor black people and poor other color people. And he was like, whatever race you are, if you're poor, we're putting you together in a group. And he said to these white people, I know you think that I'm a nigger. Forget that for now. Are your kids hungry? Yeah, well, their kids are also hungry. Is your house leaking? Their house is also leaking. Let's forget your racism for now. Let's just fix these issues. Let's band together and let's work on this, right? And what that shows you is that those people, once presented with an issue that solves their problem, don't vote against their best interests. But what politicians do is they get in the way of fixing things. So they say, you want to vote for free healthcare. You know who's going to use your free healthcare? The Mexicans. And then people are like, damn, we shouldn't vote for free healthcare. So I'm actually arguing, get the politicians out of the storytelling. Everyone just has it on their app. And when they're in the privacy of their own home with their own little device, talking to their own version of Siri, they just get to have a conversation where it goes like, and they go like, so where's the money going? And it's like, well, the pool or what are we spending? Well, your teachers need more money and do you want them? And you can still vote no. But now what you vote is what happens. There's no one who inflames tensions. There's no one who gives you a story around
it. That's my issue. Because I think that politicians is just the name and the label and the job.
I know what you're saying.
Humans are political animals.
I hear what you're saying.
And there's going to be that person that's going to go around, do the work, go door to door, and say like, well, the machine is telling you this, but I know.
Right. Or they go straight to the machine. Like Elon would just buy...
No,
whatever
in my system, you can't do that, Josh.
Why? There's money. It's capitalism.
No.
How are you going to pay for all of this stuff?
Because I rule the world. That's how I'm doing it.
Gosh.
You guys forgot that I rule the world?
Gosh.
I said after I rule the world.
You
think I'm going to need money if I rule the world?
So there's no wealthy people in this society that
but
can
they can't
pervert
buy this thing. Same way you can't just buy the election system. Like in a functioning country, you cannot. You can't just buy it. You can't just be like, I'm buying election.
One day I want to buy an election. That's like
what I mean is you can't just like buy election. It's not for sale is what my point is.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. I'm not a tyrant. I'm not saying no stories, no narratives. No. The difference is though, let's use America as an example. In America, when you ask people about gun safety,
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmingly, I mean, the number moves, but like you find at some points it's like 75% to 80% of the American population agrees that there should be stricter regulations on certain types of weapons and who can hold them and who can sell them and who can buy them and what magazines and I mean, all of it. It doesn't get passed by the people that have been elected to represent the people. That for me makes no sense.
But why don't you just ban lobbyists? Or like
Because I don't
have
think it's
less money in politics?
No, because I still don't think because I think this issue has it's like lived beyond lobbying and it's lived beyond, does that make sense?
Yeah, one thing I agree with within that is that like even without the lobbyists, you can never underestimate the level of laziness that any given politician has. Like there's all this stuff where politicians have let their aides read the entire bill,
Yes.
then describe it to
But
them.
people are
and
lazy.
then
We're giving
vote.
them an app. Some people may just let their kid vote. Oh, like, you go ahead. You vote for me.
No. Our thing has biometrics. You can't do that.
Oh, so it's a surveillance
No, it's not.
technology.
No, it's not. It's not surveillance. It's biometric.
surveillance
It's not.
technology.
It's biometric.
Okay.
It's biometric. The same way.
This is like some
I like how you-
fucking dystopian
Wait.
shit.
Can I just say?
This is dystopian.
I'm sorry. Misassigned by force. You're telling me about dystopian.
That is dystopian.
I'm saying,
I don't want to give the government my eyes.
Okay. Does your
Or my
phone
fingertip.
lock using your face?
No.
What is your phone lock using?
A number, like a normal person.
So your phone, no fingerprint, no
No,
nothing.
you can get my phone right now.
And your phone.
I'm
yeah,
not
so
taking,
that's what I would
I'm
do
not
for
taking
you.
the mark of the beast.
Yeah, but so then I'm saying to you, I'll give you a device that locks using a number. It's just biometrics, but I would know that it's you.
Trevor, just paper tick.
No, I would know. I would know that it's you. No, I'm making it the most simple. You don't have to go anywhere. You know, can I tell you what has the highest voting rates? American Idol. They never complain about low voter turnout.
Yeah.
They've never once been like, nah, we couldn't get enough people to vote.
Yeah, because it's like the same pool of people voting
No,
multiple
but
times.
it's also because it's simple.
But
it
why
is
should,
simple.
Like, okay, I don't think voting should be hard because now I'm going to sound like a gerrymandering, like Republican. But we should make it too easy.
I think
to
it
vote.
should be too easy to vote.
No.
I think it should be completely easy because it is the will of the people.
Okay, and my last question then.
Go ahead.
Very last question. Because one thing that comes to mind is something that just happened in Australia a little while ago, where the First Nation people were basically trying to get a like a parliamentary advisor.
Yeah.
Recognition in the Constitution or something like that.
Recognition
Yeah.
and basically because all of Australia had to vote for it, it got a no.
Okay.
Even though it polled well, obviously some of this is politicians, and by the time people went there, they were like, wait, are they going to lose their land if they get this? And so there was some confusion there. But this is something that will never see the light of day as long as everybody gets a vote on it. People who really have no stake in it, and then the people with all of the stake in it, because they are such a minority of the group, they don't have the advocacy that shows the people who aren't affected by it how important it is.
Right.
So I'm not saying a politician and not necessarily even a lobbyist, but if we're missing out on those people, do we miss the opportunities for, let's say we're in a country with more men than women.
Completely.
I want women. Josh Johnson wants women to have reproductive rights, right? And so if more men are voting than women and men feel some type of way, or they're like, I don't care because it's not me.
Completely.
How do we fix that in
so
your
It's
system?
bad for minority rights.
So you say this, Josh, and this is what I love about you. You have a beautiful open heart, Josh Johnson. That's what I love about you. It truly is one of the things I love about you most. Contrary to popular belief, and popular meaning Christiana predominantly, human beings are good and human beings are kind, right? And it may seem like that is not the case, but you do realize for most of the biggest movements and changes we've experienced in society, the group who is not affected, or at least thinks they're not affected, has voted for. White people had to vote to give black people the vote. In America, in South Africa, in many places, literally they had to be like, yes, the black people. And in South Africa, think about how crazy it was. It was a minority as well. In America, you can be like, they were like, well, what's the worst that could happen? In South Africa, a group of people who are like, 7-8% maybe of the population were like, we're going to let 90% of the population vote and see what happens. They had to vote for that. When it came to women's voting rights, men were the ones who voted to let women vote. So I think we should not take for granted that human beings are a lot better and kinder than we think they are, because history is littered with examples of people voting even for people who aren't the majority and aren't the most. And to go back to what you said, there was confusion. People didn't know what it meant. They didn't know if they were actually disenfranchising the First Nations people. So in my system, it wouldn't do that. It would ask them a simple question, and they'd be able to get clarification, and then they would be able to vote on behalf of the people who do not have the majority, which is what I think most voting is anyway. And I think it would alleviate a lot of those problems. But humans have shown they have the capability to do it. So I've made my pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to take the votes.
Okay. I'm going to vote yes, because even if we don't see the politician as a zero-sum good or evil, I do think that their ability to like just not care, like just be like, I'm chilling.
Yes.
Like I represent these ideas, but like, guys, I don't really care what happens. I just want to get elected again. So like, don't even make waves this time. I think if you're I think if you're missing that, then you have a little bit more access to change quicker than the clip that we've seen.
Okay. I'm going to vote no, but not for the reasons that Trevor thinks, not because I think human beings are so awful and terrible, even though I do think they are, but because I think that it's easy to get burnt out thinking, like most people do not like to think about political choices all the time. That's why they outsource these decisions. And I think what would eventually happen, it would be a dictatorship. Like people would be so burnt out. They're like, actually, I don't want to think about this ever again. Is there one person that can do for me? If it's a good outcome, it'd be a woman dictator, which we don't really get to see often. So
there would be more burnt out than the system we have now, where people have to like see campaigns and go to a ballot station
because most people
listen to things and read things.
One thing I believe about humans is that there are a lot of apolitical humans out there. Like most people do not.
I agree with you, but
they don't want to think about
this. This is
this.
not politics. This is just issues.
They don't even want to think about issues.
Politics are what humans put on top of an issue.
No,
this is just an issue.
I don't want a life with issues.
But everyone handles issues.
No. Some people have good lives, Trevor.
No, but even those people, if you say to them, should we build another opera house? They're like, yeah, I would like a say in this. So you're saying no because you think that people won't like it more.
I think it sounds really tiring, the system. And I just say that, like, parents, I'm telling you, they're going to be like, please, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my vote doesn't go through because Christiana is tired. Yeah.
I mean,
Josh,
I like that what we've...
Imagine.
Now's your chance to, like, defend me and be like, there's reasons.
I mean, she's just saying she's tired. And that's why she doesn't want to make the world a better place.
No, here's my pitch. Here's my pitch for what Christiana is saying, though, is that I think that right now we think that people are politically exhausted because of, like, candidates or ads or just, like, a system. Yeah. I think that level of engagement doesn't necessarily increase just because the quality of someone's life gets better. It's why people stop taking their medicine. You ever see somebody who's sick and then they get prescribed the medicine and they're like, man, I feel great. I feel so good. I'm not going to take my medicine. That's
true.
kind of what I hear when Christiana's like making these points, is that it's like, there's a level of apathy that we think we're solving with this, which
I'll throw one amendment at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We gamify it like Candy Crush. Candy Crush has never struggled with people. I've never seen anyone on the train be like, oh, another level. So I'm saying I'm going to gamify it. I'll make it really entertaining, really cool.
This is insane.
No, you'll be playing...
He's the Joker.
You'll be playing the game. And then it'll be like exciting, and it'll be like level 4, and then it'll be like in between level 4, it'll be like, hey, do you want to fund another school? And then it'll be like, you're like, yeah, we should fund another school, and then you go back, it's crazy, candy.
It is a little dystopian.
People always have time for games. Guys, the reason social media makes so much money, it's not because people are tired of engaging. People are tired of engaging in boring things.
I can't believe this.
People are tired of engaging in boring things.
I'm with you.
Not even one person puts down their phone and goes like, too much TikTok. Christiana, you're guilty of this.
I know.
You spend 7 hours on your phone and you don't have 10 seconds to vote in my app. 10 seconds to vote in my app. Guys, I will make my voting system cutesy and demure.
I'm with you, but now you're beholden to the attitude of somebody who is getting annoyed because they can't pass a certain level.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm saying there's different gamifications. We'll find a way.
I just think it's a little dystopian to be like, play for your rights.
What
what I'm saying is we'll make it interesting.
Wasn't dystopian enough.
We'll make it interesting. You know what? If I ruled the world, I wouldn't ask you guys before I passed any laws. I should have said that. If I ruled the world, I would just do shit. That's what I would do. I'll just do shit, and we'd live in a better world. You guys could play your game. Well, anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us here. I need to go and re-evaluate my views on democracy and the system. Josh, Christiana, as always, it was a pleasure.